With 360 miles of Pacific coastline to explore and plenty of freshwater fisheries on offer, an angling adventure in the Beaver State can mean many different things. So, we can totally understand why you can't wait to get involved in the Oregon fishing scene. This state is a dream location for all kinds of anglers, but before you cast a line here, it's important to get to grips with the local rules and regulations. This video is going to address some of your most common questions about getting your Oregon fishing license. You may be asking yourself which type of license you should get, or if you even need one. After watching today's video, you'll have all the answers, so you'll be able to spend less time wondering about the ins and outs of fishing here and plenty more time out on the water. If you're looking for licensing info on other states, check out our channel's licenses playlist and make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay up to date on all our latest fishing videos. We're going to kick things off by covering who needs a license in Oregon. One thing you should know is that protecting and conserving local recreational fishing opportunities is taken very seriously here, and the licenses on offer reflect that. Plain and simple, everyone over the age of 12 needs a license to fish in Oregon. This is the same whether you're fishing alone or on a charter, and applies to both residents and non-residents. However, there are a few exceptions that exempt people from having to fish with a license. This includes residents and non-residents under the age of 12, Oregon residents who are fishing on land they own or land owned by an immediate family member, unless it's for salmon, steelhead, sturgeon, or halibut, and residents and non-residents who are eligible for an Oregon disabilities hunting and fishing permit. Lastly, everyone can enjoy a great time on the water during Oregon's free fishing weekends. These take place throughout the year, usually at the beginning of February, the beginning of June, and the end of November. These weekends allow anglers from all over the country to fish license-free. Just keep in mind that regular bag and size limits still apply. The type of license that you'll buy depends on two main factors. The first is whether or not you're a resident of Oregon. There are a variety of reasons why you may be considered a resident of Oregon, but the main one is if you've had a registered address in the state for 6 months or more. You can prove your residency through any state-issued ID card or legal document confirming your status. Among others, military personnel who are assigned to active duty in Oregon and foreign students attending college here are also considered residents. Everybody else falls into non-resident categories. Both residents and non-residents can choose between fishing licenses and hunting and fishing combination licenses. If you're a resident, you can even opt for an annual sports pack license, which comes with a few additional perks, like big game hunting privileges and various bird, wildlife, and fish stamps. Keep in mind that senior angling and combination licenses are only available for residents of Oregon, as well as disabled veterans licenses. Anglers aged between 12 and 17 are eligible for a youth license, which allows them to both hunt and fish whether they're an Oregon resident or not. Once you've decided the license type that's right for you, the next thing to consider is the duration of its validity. You can buy a license for a period as short as 1 day or as long as a year. It's really up to you. If you're someone who's out on the water every week, an annual license is a cost-effective choice. On the other hand, if your annual fishing trip is the only time you get in on the action, opt for a daily license. Finally, an important part of fishing legally in Oregon is making sure you have not only a valid fishing license, but all the required endorsements, validations, tags, and permits. A popular add-on is the Columbia River Basin endorsement. If you want to go fishing for salmon, steelhead, or sturgeon on all the rivers and tributaries in the Columbia River Basin, including the Columbia River itself, you need to buy one of these. Prices for different license types vary. For residents, regular fishing licenses start at just over $20, with single-day licenses being your cheapest option and annual licenses running at the higher end of that price point. You can also purchase combination licenses, which are more expensive but allow you to both hunt and fish for game. Residents over the age of 70 are eligible for a variety of reduced-cost licenses, as are Oregon residents who have a disability rating of at least 25%. If you're a non-resident, you'll be pleased to know that in most cases, you'll actually pay the same fee as residents for your license. Aside from sports pack licenses, you can mainly purchase the same license types as residents, just at a higher cost. Purchasing additional requirements to fish legally can also bump up the cost of your fishing trip. Your most basic Columbia River Basin endorsement is the cheapest, coming in at around $10 for both residents and non-residents. But prices for other combined tags can be much higher, hitting around the $40 mark. For a detailed price breakdown of the different licenses available in Oregon, as well as how much they cost right now, check out our extensive blog article linked in the description box below. When the time comes to get your license, the state of Oregon has plenty of options. You can pick up a license online on the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife website or in person at any local ODFW office or licensed vendor such as Walmart or bait and tackle shops. In order to apply for your license, you'll need to provide your social security number. Make sure you have it on hand and you'll have no trouble getting out on the water right away. If you're wondering whether you can use your Oregon license in interstate waters, you're probably planning to fish the Columbia River, which also winds through the state of Washington. The good news is that Oregon and Washington have fishing license reciprocity along their boundary waters for freshwater fishing licenses inland and for saltwater licenses in a defined zone of the Columbia River mouth. This only counts if you're fishing on a boat, though. If you're fishing from shore, you need the license from the state on whose shore you're standing. So, now that you know that everyone over the age of 12, with a few exceptions, is required to carry a fishing license in Oregon, state residents have access to a variety of fishing license types ranging from one-day to annual licenses. Non-residents have access to a lot of the same licenses as residents, often at the same price, that you can buy a license online or in person, and that Oregon has reciprocal agreements with its neighboring state, Washington. You're about ready to go. Getting an Oregon fishing license is pretty easy. If you're looking for even more information as well as full price breakdowns, hit the link in the description box below and check out our in-depth blog post. You can also drop us a line in the comment section. And that's it, you're ready to get your fish on. Pack your favorite gear, book an Oregon fishing charter on FishingBooker.com, and let the fun begin.